Have you ever wondered how people take a few simple clips and turn them into a video that actually feels complete? It almost looks complicated, right? But here's the secret, it's easier than you think. And today, I'll walk with you step by step. We'll start with raw footage, add a little polish, and by the end you'll have your very first finished video ready to share. Let's get started. Alright, before we even touch the editing timeline, let's think about this. What's the very first thing we need? Videos, exactly. I already have a few clips, I grabbed mine from Pexels. Free to use. But video alone doesn't tell the whole story. So the next thing we need is audio. That could be music, narration, or anything your ears can hear. I got my track from the YouTube audio library, also free to use. That's all we need to begin. Wait! I almost forgot something. We can't actually edit without editing software. That's where the real magic happens. Think of it like the genie of editing. Every cut, every effect, every transformation, it all starts here. There are lots of editing programs out there, and some of them are completely free. For this video, I'm using DaVinci Resolve, the free version. And trust me, it's more than enough to get the job done. I've already made plenty of tutorials with it, so it just makes sense to keep using it here. Now, if you're not sure how to install it, don't worry, I've got a separate video that walks you through the whole process, so check that out if you need help. Alright, let's get started inside the software. First, double-click the DaVinci Resolve icon and give it a moment to load. Once it opens, click on New Project. Here, you can type in a name for your project and choose the location where you'd like to save your media. And when you're ready, just hit Create. That's it. Your project is set up and ready to go. Before we dive into the main process, let's keep things simple. We're only going to use two tabs, the Edit tab and the Deliver tab. And don't worry, these aren't complicated at all. Alright, let's move into the first main task, importing our media. To do this, head over to the Edit tab and open the Media Pool. Now, in the empty space, right-click and choose Import Media. From here, just select the clips you want to bring into Resolve, and you're good to go. You'll see your imported media right there in the media pool, ready to use. And once it's in, you can even click on it to preview and make sure everything looks right. If you'd like to learn more, I've created a separate video that shows different ways to import media. Feel free to check it out for extra tips. Let's move into the next important step, editing. The very first thing you need to set up is your project settings. Don't worry, we're not touching everything here, just one thing, the timeline resolution. For example, 1920 by 1080 means your video is 1920 pixels wide and 1080 pixels tall. That's the standard landscape size, also called Full HD. But if you want to make vertical videos, like TikToks or YouTube Shorts, you can flip those numbers using the vertical resolution option. That way, your video becomes taller instead of wider. Once that's set, the next step is creating a timeline. This is basically the space where all your editing will happen. To create one, just right-click on the empty space in the media pool. Go to Timeline, and then choose Create New Timeline. Here, you can give it a name or simply leave the defaults. Finally, click Create, and your timeline will be ready to go. Now, inside the timeline, you'll notice two main tracks are created, one for video and one for audio. These two are the most important building blocks of your edit. From here, you can simply drag and drop your video and audio files onto these tracks. At the upper corner, there's a slider that lets you zoom in or out of the timeline. This doesn't change your video, it just adjusts how much of your project you can see at once. You can also drag your clips around freely inside the timeline. And if you move a clip upward, you'll see a new track appear automatically. This gives you the flexibility to organize your edit however you like. Before we move on, let's quickly talk about how storytelling works in editing. Don't worry, we're not going too deep here. Think of it like this. I've got three simple images: a happy person, a coffee cup, and a sad person. Now, if I arrange them one way, it could look like a sad man drinks coffee, and suddenly he's happy. But if I flip the order, it could tell a completely different story. A happy man drinks coffee, and then he's sad because maybe the coffee wasn't so great. See how the meaning changes? That's the power of editing. By adjusting the order of clips, you can shape the story however you like. Now let's talk about one of the most important tools in any editing software, the Blade tool. With this tool, you can cut your clips into smaller pieces. That means if a part of your video isn't needed, you can slice it out in seconds. You can also split a long clip into sections, which makes it easier to rearrange or remove parts of your story. Simple, but powerful. And here's a bonus tip: if you ever make a mistake, just press Ctrl+C to undo it. So don't worry, nothing you do here is permanent. Another handy trick is trimming. You can simply drag the edge of a clip to make it shorter. This is super useful when you only need a specific part of the video and want to cut out the extra bits you don't need. It's one of those things you'll find yourself doing all the time while editing. Here you might notice an issue. The timeline resolution doesn't match this clip. That's why you see those black bars at the top and bottom. And this is the perfect time to introduce you to the inspector. Honestly, you can't make a proper video without it. The inspector gives you a ton of controls, things like zoom, position, angle, opacity, and even more advanced tools that I'll cover in future videos. For now, let's just look at zooming and positioning. You can easily adjust how your clip looks by changing these values. Now comes one of the most exciting parts of editing: effects. Effects are what turns simple clips into something that feels polished, creative, and cinematic. And the very first effect you'll want to learn is transitions. Transitions are used when you move from one clip to another, and they help make the cut feel smooth or add a unique style. Some of the most common ones are dissolves, like cross dissolve, blur dissolve, or additive dissolve. Then there are wipes, band wipe, center wipe, even a clock wipe. And if you want to get fancy, there are advanced transitions too, things like block glitch, camera shake, circle spin, edgy, and more. The best part is, most of these are completely free to use. To add a transition, just go to the effects panel, open the toolbox, and then choose video transitions. From there, you can simply drag and drop a transition between two clips. You can adjust the duration of the transition by dragging its edges right on the timeline. It's simple, but transitions are one of the most powerful ways to make your edits look professional. Now let's add some simple text to our video. To do this, go to the titles section. You'll see a bunch of options here, but for now, we'll stick with the basic text. Just drag and drop it above your clip, and you'll see it creates a new video track. Next, click on the text, then open the inspector. Here, you can type in your text, and customize it however you like, change the font, adjust the size, pick your color, and play with lots of other settings. And if you're interested in going beyond the basics, I've made some other videos on text, like the new multi-text feature in Resolve 20, and even how to place text behind objects. Little tricks like these can make a huge difference in your final video. And finally, let's add some music to our video. Just drag your audio file onto the audio track, you'll find it right below the video track. Remember the tools we used earlier, like the Blade tool and trimming? You can use those same tools to match the music to your video's duration. For the ending, we'll keep it simple. Instead of advanced techniques, I'm going to add a fade transition to slightly reduce the volume at the end. To do that, go to Effects, open Audio Transitions, and drag one onto the end of your audio clip. You can also adjust the length of this fade to match the feel you want. Fine-tune your sound using the inspector. Here, you'll find controls for volume, pan, pitch, and plenty of other options. By experimenting with these tools, you'll start building real editing experience. And your videos will instantly feel more polished. As you keep practicing, editing becomes quicker, easier, more natural. Cutting, trimming, adding transitions, adjusting audio, soon it all starts to flow. Even the small things, like fading out music, or lining up clips just a little smoother, make a big difference in the final result. These are the simple steps that add up, giving your video a clean, professional feel, while helping you grow the confidence to try more advanced techniques later on. Alright, we've reached the final step. Out of the 3 main stages, this one is all about delivering your video. To save your project, go to the Deliver tab. In the render settings, you'll see a list of defaults for different platforms. For this video, I'm choosing the YouTube preset. Here, just type in a file name, pick the location where you want to save the video, and leave the other settings as they are. Next, click Add to Render Queue. Then select Render All to start the process. Depending on your video's length, effects, and other settings, this might take a little while. But once it's done, your very first edited video will be ready to share. And that's it, we've reached the end. You've learned the basics, importing clips, editing on the timeline, and delivering your video. With just these steps, you can already create something polished and ready to share. This is only the beginning, so keep practicing, keep exploring, and I'll see you in the next tutorial.